The camera. 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just in Time for Music. And this is our last episode of the fall semester before we're on break until spring. Our guest today is one of our graduating seniors. Please welcome Rachel Crust.
Yes, that's me! Hi!
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's going well.
Yeah?
We're getting there.
So, let's get a little bit of a background. Like, what do you play? Obviously, you're a senior.
Mm-hmm.
What's your major?
Okay, the whole spiel, like the icebreaker of
Sure.
everything. I'm a senior, music education major. I'm Rachel Crust, obviously.
Mhm.
I played the flute and the piccolo for the orchestra. Played, I guess, for the orchestra this year. Yeah, and like I said, music education, all of that.
Now, obviously, these are band instruments. Do you play in any of the other band ensembles that are up here?
This semester, the only other ensemble I was in was flute ensemble. In the past, I've played with the marching band and the concert band here.
Awesome. So, what made you choose SRU of all schools?
Well, that's actually kind of a not really funny story, I guess, but it's a story. So originally, I wanted to go to Penn State main campus because I live around there, and you know, Penn State is Penn State. And my dad was like, "That's expensive. Let's find somewhere else." And back then, I really, really wanted to be a hospitality management major. So we were looking at state schools that focused a lot on hospitality.
And what exactly qualifies with all that? Like what?
Hospitality?
Yeah. What exactly like falls under that?
It's like customer service. Customer service. You work with people most of the time. Like think about like a hotel. It's like hotel management, like the management aspects of things.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a time that I don't like to think about because I didn't really work in the public eye at that point. I learned very quickly that that was not my place. But anyway, we were sitting down at a restaurant, at our favorite restaurant where I live, and he was looking up state schools, and Slippery Rock just so happened to be one of the schools that we were looking at. And later that day, we drove to Slippery Rock, which is about a 3-hour drive from where I live, and we drove around campus, and then we left and went home. Like 3 hours to drive around campus and then go home. And I thought it was really beautiful. And so I think at that point I realized that it was meant to be. But then we also went to a marching band show. No, not marching band show. What am I talking about? Well, of course it's the marching band show. No, we went to a football game, and I saw the marching band, and I was like, oh my gosh, big, because my high school's marching band was relatively small. Okay, hold it. It's okay, but we were mighty. We were powerful.
Yes, we were.
And you know what? They're growing. They're doing really well. I'll have to show you videos later.
Fun fact, me and Rachel went to the same high school.
It's so true.
Yes. So,
Holden.
on that note, how did you meet Holden?
Okay, I was...
He was so good looking, that's what it was.
He was so good looking? What?
No.
Pierce
No.
is also back there as well, and Lily's back there helping us out today too.
It wasn't his looks.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, how much younger? You're like 2 years younger than me?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 in December.
Yeah, so it is December.
Wait, 8 days.
Okay, so I think I was a sophomore or junior when you were a freshman, when Holden was a freshman. And we met in orchestra, and Holden was this quiet child. He was so quiet, and he was so standoffish, and I really thought that he hated me.
Wow.
For like a long time, because every time I would try to interact with him, he would just like ignore me or he would like sort of scoff.
I would not scoff.
You would scoff.
I would not scoff.
You would because but to be fair, I would say something kind of silly that would warrant it. But I really thought that he did not like me. But anyway, I was this like, I don't know, I was loud. And we're like polar opposites in that way. Complete polar opposites. But then as we grew together, I think I was a sophomore.
Yeah, I don't think you were.
Might have been. I don't remember. That was like years ago. Anyway, so.
Yeah, we met in orchestra.
Yeah, we met in orchestra. To make a very, very not long story short, we met in orchestra, and we became friends over time.
So I guess for you guys, either of you can answer this. So was your high school orchestra like orchestra and band instruments all together?
No, it was just string instruments. It is now. It is now at the high school that we went to. My mom is the band and orchestra director at the high school that we went to. It is now, but it wasn't then.
Very nice. So did you have any influence on Holden deciding to eventually come to Slippery Rock? Or
I don't think so. I had no idea he was coming here until I saw him walking the halls of Slippery Rock, walking the halls of Swope. Because you originally went to like LHU.
I went to LHU, yeah.
He went to LHU for like a year or two.
A semester.
Really?
Yeah, and then I dropped out.
Yeah. Okay, so he originally went to LHU,
Mhm.
which is like our local college. And he, like, just out of the blue, was walking the Swope hallways, and I was kind of like, huh? Like, is that who I think it is? And it sure was, and I don't think I had anything to do with it. I think the stars aligned.
I kind of forgot you were going here, truthfully.
Holden!
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
so Holden, I guess
Yes, I am.
going into this, did you know anyone that was here? Like besides not knowing that Rachel was here, obviously. But
No, I didn't know really anyone here, but I just really felt called here, and I really just knew this was the college for me.
awesome. It's still
So rude.
very cool because like I don't know, it's just like I didn't think that you guys were like that close. Because like I only found out relatively recently that you guys were like from the same area and you
Yeah.
actually went to school together.
Yeah.
And like I thought that was so funny because I have a couple friends that are up here that I went to school with like all my life, but they're all like non-music people.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because like we always made jokes about how like, oh, we'll end up in college together one day, and
Yeah.
it actually ended up true.
Yeah, no, if there was, I'm so sorry, if there was ever a person that I didn't think I would be going to like college with, it would be Holden. I would I would have never thought twice about it. Never. I mean, it's not like we were insanely close. Like, we knew each other, we hung out occasionally after school hours, and that's because we were sort of part of the same friend group for a little period of time.
Yeah.
But like I never thought, and I had no idea that he was even considering a music major.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't think he knew that I was a music major at that point.
So I guess like after you graduated, would you say that you guys maybe like just lost touch, I guess, and then like kind of found each other again here in a way?
No. Yes. Okay, it's really tricky because after you leave high school, like, and your friends are still in high school, you're completely different people.
Yeah.
Like, you're living two totally different experiences. And like I said, we were part of the same friend group for like a very, very small period of time. It was like the end of my senior year, sort of into the summer of my, like, right before I started college.
Mhm.
And then the group, the friend group that we were a part of and that connected us were also in high school.
Right.
And so things sort of separated in their own ways.
Mm.
Oh, I get that. Like, especially like for me, I have a lot of friends that are still in high school. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, I hung out with a lot of people, but it's a struggle, especially now, still trying to like keep in contact with them because like I've moved on to what I'm doing up here, like trying to run this show and find my own place in this orchestra as opposed to the orchestra back where I'm from.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Let's dive back further into the past now.
Oh no.
Pre-Holden times.
Pre-Holden. Oh, I
So,
can't remember.
what made you decide to pick up the flute, and was piccolo also lumped into there too, or was piccolo a later acquisition?
Well, yeah, piccolo was more of a high school thing. If you wanted to back up further, I could talk about my strings experience. And Pierce just turns his head and stares right at me. Yes, shocker, like mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
My first musical instrument that I ever picked up on my own was the violin.
Really?
I started playing violin in 3rd grade, and then I picked up the flute in 4th grade. What was the original question? I had to deep dive.
Yeah. So basically, how did you pick up the flute? Like, what made you choose this as opposed to like the clarinet or some other instrument?
Well, part of it is because my mom plays the flute. Like I said earlier, she's a band and orchestra director at our home school district. And I have admired her for a long, long time. I love both of my parents, but my mom and I have a little bit more in common than my dad and I, simply because I'm a musician, she's a musician. My dad really didn't have, the music. Well, he's musical, he is, but he didn't have the opportunities that that were presented to my mom and I when he was younger. So he did not play an instrument. So I picked up the flute partly because of my mom, and then I also picked it up because, look at it. It's shiny, it's silver, and you just want to press all the buttons.
Yeah.
Think about 4th grade Rachel. If you don't know me, get to know me, I'm cool. But I'm so energetic, I'm so, excited for everything. And look at all the pretty silver buttons. Any kid would want to press those. I would know. I've shown it to preschoolers, and they love it.
Nice.
So it has to do with something a little more sentimental, and then also pretty shiny thing.
Yeah, and then adding on to that, when did you pick up the piccolo? How did that come into play?
I think I picked up the piccolo for the first time in high school. The first time seriously in high school. Technically, I guess if you want to be technical, my mom let me try to play the piccolo when I was very, very little.
Really?
It did not work.
Do they both play the same way? I'm pretty sure both of them play kind of.
Yeah. They're the same fingerings. They're the same basic way of producing a sound. The embouchure hole on the flute is bigger than the one on the piccolo, and that is for obvious reasons, because this thing is tiny. It is very, very tiny. So you need to change your aperture to better suit the piccolo. And all instruments are different. I would know if I'm not playing my instrument.
Do you want to show playing the different apertures for playing?
Yeah,
I
guess I can.
On that?
Yeah, it won't be anything insanely different. You won't see much of a difference, but I can sure try.
Okay.
There's a flute. A piccolo, I can't really tell. So It's just smaller with the piccolo. That's basically the main difference between the aperture.
So I know, now granted I come from a strings perspective here, like we kind of have to move our hands like up further like on the necks of our
Yeah.
instruments to get more notes. Do you have to like move your lips a different way to play higher notes?
Sort of, yeah. So, sort of. I don't really know how to explain it. It all depends on air speed / air pressure. So each fingering can create a note, or it could create multiple. So like if you wanted an F in the staff, and you also wanted an F on like the top line, it's the same fingering, it's just a different kind of speed of air and a different kind of like pressure of air. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever.
I think
It's
I get it.
really, really hard to like explain your primary instrument, and I will like go to the grave on this theory because it's so real. This is my education major coming out. It is so much harder to teach your primary instrument than it is to teach something that you just learned in college, because you don't remember what it's like to struggle as a beginner on your instrument. You don't know what it's like. You can't empathize.
Speak for yourself. I struggle all the time.
In different ways.
I struggle in every way, in lots of ways.
Now, in a bit of an episode 4 flashback, I attempted to teach Megan how to play my violin because it was definitely a lot harder than I thought it was to actually teach it, so I definitely see what you're saying.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Pierce just walked onto the camera and just, like, I think it took him all of, like, a minute to actually teach her and make it work. So I kind of feel like maybe it's different for everybody in regards to, like, teaching your primary instrument.
Yeah, and well, you also have to think, like, does Pierce teach private lessons? And he's also a performance major, so it's sort of part of his spiel. I don't know, it's hard to empathize when you don't remember.
Yeah.
And it's hard, I can't remember the term for it, but, oh, okay. They're like telling secrets over there.
Yeah.
Secrets don't make friends. I'm kidding. But yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like I struggle with that portion of it, but I've done it before, and I continue to do it now with my private student. And honestly, it's really, really fun. I love teaching it.
Awesome. So I know you said your mom's a music director at the high school level. Is there any sort of like advice or like some sort of like music, I guess, one-liner that's like stuck with you like in your playing over the years?
Oh gosh. One more again. One more again. No. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
She has too many phrases. She has too many catchphrases.
Oh, I know one. Don't do drugs, kids.
Not what I was expecting, but okay.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, if Holden has something better that is like more musical, that's like a life thing. I mean.
Hey, I mean, we've all got different sorts of conductors, you know? It's like, we've got people that are more...
She often rolls around on the floor to get a point across. Like if the rep was just so unbelievably bad, she would roll on the floor.
Holden, have you seen this, or?
I feel like that was more of a band thing. She didn't do that in orchestra.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh. I know she did it, okay, it's really hard because she would tell me about everything that she did. Like even when she taught like elementary, like, cause she might have done it then. I don't know. That's so tricky. That's such a tricky question.
Very.
I love it though. I like thinking about it.
Yeah, like with my family.
Someone mentioned throwing something and I had to do it.
Oh yeah.
Ever since I got paper thrown at me at an earlier episode, every time we come in to record like a future episode, whoever's behind the camera always asks, "Can we throw something at you again?" And
I had to.
I clearly have started something.
Yes, it's so true.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
back into the music.
Take a break.
So, in regards more to your major, why won't you be in orchestra next semester? What are you going to be doing?
I'm gonna be student teaching. Dun dun da. Yeah. Ah! Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I'm gonna be student teaching, which is insane. It's
Jeez.
insane.
So, are you teaching like band as a student teacher, or are you general music?
So a little bit of both. I'm gonna be teaching middle school band. I'm not gonna disclose where. And I'm also going to be teaching general music.
Awesome.
I'm so excited for general music.
Is the general music going to be middle school level as well? or
No,
is that gonna
elementary. Elementary.
So you're going to have to go 2 separate buildings, I guess?
Okay, so the first, I think it's 8 weeks. First 8 weeks are with a middle school band. And I have an 8th grade general music in that rotation as well. But yeah, basically it's just band for the first 8 weeks, which is going to be exciting. But I'm really looking forward to the elementary general music because that is like my thing. That is my niche. It's my absolute favorite thing in the entire world.
What would you say is probably like your best grade level to teach? Like your favorite group of kids that you would be able to teach?
Easy, preschool. I love teaching preschool. I've taught preschools here at Slippery Rock for the last like 2.5 years. Paid positions,
Awesome.
some completely by myself, some with some of my partners. It has been incredible, and preschool is my absolute favorite because you know what? You're just there, and they are so excited. They get so excited, and like, it's so much fun. I don't know. It's like, it's just so much fun.
Awesome.
I love working with them.
Yeah, my mom is a preschool aide at a preschool back home, and she often, whenever I'm home and it's like a weekday, she'll take me to the preschool to help out for certain days. And it's always so much fun because the kids just stare at me because she teaches, I want to say it's like, she teaches the kids that are like 2 to 4.
Yeah.
And she just loves bringing me because then the kids just stare at me and they're like, who is this guy? And then she's like, this is my little boy. Well, he's not so little anymore.
Yeah. No, I am dreading the day that like if I ever see these, like the kids that I've been working with, because I've been working with some of these kids for 1.5 years now. I'm dreading the day that I see them and they're all grown up and I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the kids that I've had this year and last year have just been the sweetest, and like I could not have asked for a better set of kids.
Awesome.
They're angels.
So how often do these two make an appearance at your teaching positions?
Not often. Only because the young kids need more movement-based things.
Yeah.
And their attention spans aren't as, wide as ours. And like, while we could sit through some musical, performance of sorts, they could not. they could probably sit through Twinkle Twinkle Little Star maybe twice.
And then they probably turn whatever room you're in into a tornado.
No, they just, in my experience, they just get tired and they like want to move on and they want to do something else and they want to talk to their neighbors.
Yeah.
And like they'll start touching their friend on the shoulder, like tapping them, or just something random. So like it's really important to like pace your lesson and switch.
Right.
Like switch activities every 4 minutes because the typical preschooler is 4 or 5.
Yeah.
At least for my preschool.
Right.
So every 4 or 5 minutes you want to change. you want to change your activity so
Yeah.
they stay interested, and that's the key thing.
Awesome.
We do have a segment in our lesson plans that is like an instrument of the week.
Ooh.
So when instrument of the week happens, that's when you bring out the instrument, which I've brought out the flute before. That's when you say things like, what do you think is in this case? And they'll say, trumpet! It is not the trumpet. It's very clear to us that it's not the trumpet, but they think that it is because they don't know. And it's really cute because they're like, you'll take it out and they'll be like, tuba! It's not the tuba,
That's
but
funny.
their imagination, they don't know. And that's when you say, it's called the flute, and the flute
Right.
is made out of metal. And the keys on these are the things called the keys on the flute.
Mm-hmm.
And if you press them down, they make different sounds. You don't go into like the physics behind it. You don't go into like you kind of go into how sound is produced, but not fully.
Right.
Because they don't really care about that.
Yeah.
And then you play it, and they're like, whoa! And you're like, oh, well, is this sound high or low? Because they need the differentiation between high and low.
So it's almost like a super beginner's level, like music sort of thing.
Yeah, it's introducing them to the world of instruments.
Nice. So what other instruments have you brought for the days that are like instrument of the week?
We've brought saxophone. We've brought the alto. We brought a clarinet once. We brought a euphonium. We brought the violin.
Yes.
I think we brought the viola. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, shut up.
Hey,
Fierce.
watch it. No. What else I think we brought a trombone once. They
Nice.
loved that. We brought bongos. They also loved that.
Mhm.
They love anything that they can touch.
Nice.
Which you can't let them touch the violin or the flute or the tuba or anything like that. But like bongos, like percussive instruments, they can touch, but you need to tell them, okay, you need to tap it with 2 fingers gently.
Right. Yeah.
You got to be very specific with these kids because like they'll take it all very literally.
Right. Well, let's level back up to like the middle school level, I guess. What is it that you think like you'll probably end up like teaching your band kids?
Honestly, I have no idea yet. We're probably going to work on concert rep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to lead rehearsals based on that rep that they're working on. I don't really have a clue right now, only because I don't think that they are like at the point where they're thinking about what they're going to play for the end of their school year, because it's coming on Christmas break, and
Right.
they're probably having a holiday concert of some sort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or a winter concert, whichever. So my guess would be just rehearsing whatever pieces they are going to be working on. That's
Awesome.
my best guess. But yeah.
So, looking back, would you say that there's like a certain like teaching role model that like you want to like kind of live up to? Like if you get like
Yeah.
further down the road, like in your teaching career?
Yeah, so my main hope is for an elementary general position, and I really, and this is gonna sound really silly, and that's okay because I'm silly. I really admire Dr. Eisenreich's style of teaching. That she is like the reason why I am here and like loving it as much as I do. And she's just energetic, she's a powerful person, and like she's just a good human, and she's a good music teacher, and all of the good stuff. And I want to be like her, but still be
Awesome.
myself, if that makes sense.
Very nice. Let's think here. So you've probably played what, like more than 10 years, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is probably like your favorite memory from playing, like your greatest career moment in a way?
Oh yes. Okay, so
Holden just did some sort of motion like this, so I don't know what this is, but I'm anxious to hear.
Mars
Ooh.
from the planets. It was a district orchestra performance / festival, and we played Mars, and that was the most exciting thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And I played violin for this because
Really?
I played violin from 3rd grade to my senior year of high school.
Oh, so you kept...
Oh, yeah.
I thought maybe you dropped violin when you picked up this.
No. I don't give up that easily.
Nice.
I actually, throughout middle school, I kind of didn't really step away from the violin, but I wasn't as in love with it as I was the flute at that point. There are underlying reasons for that. But in high school, I realized, and this has to do with cliques and friend groups and things.
Right.
A lot of the people in my high school band, it's not that I didn't get along with them, because I did. It was just I didn't feel like they liked me. Even though that's probably not true. I just, in my head, it was sort of like that. But in orchestra, I felt like I was appreciated.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had friends. And they called me their orchestra mom. He refused to term me. He refused to term me that.
Is that true, Holden?
Yeah.
He refused. And me being, me and loving attention, I was like, yes! Yes! Someone actually, enjoys my presence. And then Holden's over here, no.
I was
That's
just...
funny.
That's why I was convinced you didn't like me.
No, I liked you. I was just a quiet kid. And I
like you. I hate you.
I just didn't
Pierce, if you keep doing that, you're going to fall over and I'm going to laugh.
He's gonna hit his head.
Yeah, don't hit your head.
I'm going to
please.
laugh and then I'm going to call 911.
I'll call 911 and then laugh on the phone.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah,
That is awesome. It
Well,
sounds like
was-
there's so much stories, and I wish we had more time to dive into way more stories.
Me too.
But we got to keep moving
Yeah.
to more segments of the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, what's that?
Is that the new T-shirt for Just in Time for Music
Hey.
podcast?
Is it time
Hey,
to throw
it's
stuff
my
now?
time.
No.
It's my turn to say something. It's the new orchestra podcast. Whoa! T-shirt!
Can we have this pen back?
I don't even know where the pen
It
went.
went behind the
Keep this to yourself.
Ah, woo!
But yes, guys, you heard that right. We have custom T-shirts now. We spent a long time trying to make them. Rachel's got hers on for this episode. I've got mine on too.
Twinsies!
Yes.
The drape has theirs on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are yours? You
It's on
three.
the drape.
Holden.
I'm broke.
Me too, but I made a sacrifice. Pierce!
Mine's in my locker.
Hey, we'll figure it out. We'll get them suited up with these super cool shirts. But stay tuned for future episodes where we'll have details on how you can get your own. Hey, what time is it?
5:51.
But it's also...
Trivia time.
Yes! So, we've got another round of basic orchestra trivia.
Oh no.
Now, I believe we have a 20-question list here, and it's just going to be
Oh boy, okay.
1 minute to get through as many as you can.
Okay,
Now, I believe, if memory serves, the high score is 9.
okay.
So,
I just want you to know, I'm terrible at trivia.
and that's fine.
I'm terrible at it, and I will just say random things, and you're just gonna have to go with it.
Hey, it's purely just for fun.
Oh yeah.
And we're going
Oh,
to start
believe
at a
me.
different point in the list
Okay.
from the other episodes
Okay.
that have been out before this.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be fun.
Oh no.
We're going to start at the end and work our way to the beginning of the
Okay.
list. Holden, you got a timer up?
I got one.
Okay.
Go.
Count us down.
3, 2, go.
What is the name of our conductor?
Dr. Zhang.
Good. What is the building called where the SRU orchestra, band, and choir students all perform?
School music hall.
Good. What do most conductors wave around in their hands when
Baton.
conducting? Good. What is the person that sits on the left side of the conductor in the first chair generally called?
The concertmaster.
Okay. What makes a symphony orchestra different from a regular all-strings orchestra?
The woodwind, brass, and percussion instruments.
Good. How many strings do most guitars have?
6.
Good. What stringed instrument is an instrument that you would see in a jazz ensemble?
Upright bass.
Good. True or false? French horn and flute both read the same clef.
No. Wait, yes. Same clef? Yeah.
What's the clef?
Treble.
Good. True or false? The euphonium is also considered by most to be a small tuba.
True?
Time.
Yep. Wow. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You tied the high score.
Ha!
And we didn't even start at the beginning of the list for the questions.
Why are your questions so long? She could have got more.
Yeah, we'll probably work on those for next time, but great job.
Thank you.
First in my heart.
That is going to be it for this episode. This is also our last episode for the fall semester until we come back in the spring and resume the show. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment with any feedback or additional thoughts that you guys have for how we can make the show better. And remember, stay musical, everybody.
Oh, that's cute.
Thanks.
Stay music cool.